Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a story time video that explains my appearance. I didn't get too dressed up for this video because I just wanted to have a super chill, laid back kind of talk to you guys kind of video. So I'm going to be talking about me losing my job. It recently just happened to me, so it's still fresh, but I'm still going to talk about it because you guys are my family. So I figured I'd do a story time about this because I feel like you guys are going to like the tea. But so yeah, if you guys want to see the little story time about me losing my job, then just keep on watching. Okay, so basically I started this job back in October. I believe it was October 28th. And when I'm going to start off with the interview. So I worked at a previous salon for quite a while, for about a year, maybe half a year, for a little bit of time. And I was not really looking for another job, but I was told to get another job because I wasn't making a whole ton of money for being a hairdresser because it wasn't a very busy area. So I heard about this place from family, from friends, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. So I went in there for the interview. The interview went great. It was on like a Monday night. I just got back from Ipsy Generation Beauty in New York. And I was told in the interview that I was gonna be an assistant for 3 months, and then after that 3 months I was gonna start building up a clientele and becoming a hairdresser there, because one of the hairdressers was going on maternity leave, and also my boss, my ex-boss now, wanted to be home more with her kids, so I was going to be getting all of her clientele, which was perfect. I was so excited. I had my license for almost a year, and I was like, perfect, it's in a busy area, this is going to be great. So October 28th was my first day. That day we had a Botox party, and I did makeup for some people, and it was great. I got paid. I wasn't even expecting to get paid, and a few months went by, and I was still assisting, which was fine. I caught myself doing a lot of lunch pickups, which was not part of the job. If I knew that I was going to be like the lunch lady picking up people's lunches, I wouldn't have applied for this job because that's not what I was applying for. I was applying to assist my boss, meaning mixing color, applying color if she was running behind, blow drying clients if she was running behind, make sure they were all caped and ready to go, and like cutting foils and all that sort of like hairdressing assisting stuff. So I wasn't really planning on answering the phones as much, which if I did, it wasn't a big deal, but I wasn't planning on answering the phones as much. I wasn't planning on picking up people's lunches. I wasn't planning on running errands. So yeah, like I said, if I knew I was going to be doing that stuff, I wouldn't have accepted this position. So I noticed I was doing a lot of that, and it got to January, and by this point I was supposed to become a hairdresser and start taking over because the other hairdresser was going on maternity leave in April, so that was a perfect time for me to start building up like my clientele a little bit, and that sort of stuff. So I started to build up literally maybe 1 or 2 clients, some family members, and the receptionist would tell these clients that I was an apprentice, which if you don't know what an apprentice is, it's basically someone that's still in school and still learning, and don't have like their full qualified license yet. Let me look up the actual definition. Okay, so an apprentice this is on Google, a person who is learning a trade from a skilled employer having agreed to work for a fixed period at low wages. So I was getting paid minimum wage, so it definitely wasn't low wages, and I wasn't learning anymore because I had already graduated high school where I learned cosmetology back in May. Don't get me wrong, hairdressers learn every single day something new, but I knew the basics. I knew how to build a clientele. Like, I knew everything I needed to know to go on my own. And I felt treated as if I had no idea what I was doing. Sometimes they would tell me stuff that I already knew and I just act like I didn't know because I didn't have the guts to speak up for myself. And I'm sorry if I'm like all over the place. Like, I'm trying to explain everything that I can without trying to go all over the place, but I'm really bad at it. So like I said, January came and I was expected to become a hairdresser at that point. And it was taking a little bit. all of the girl that went on maternity leave, all those people were supposed to come to me. I was supposed to be the maternity girl's like hairdresser replacement for the times that she was gone, and all of them didn't trust me, and all of them went to my boss. So my boss became extremely booked, extremely stressed out, yet I was standing there doing nothing because I was supposed to be taking all of these clients. I'm supposed to be a hairdresser. I'm supposed to be playing with hair. I'm not supposed to still be an assistant. I got spoken to multiple times about not doing anything because I had nothing to do, because me and the receptionist basically had the same exact job and we didn't need 2 assistants. It was barely work for even 1 assistant. Why have 2 of them? But once that 3 months came along, I was like, okay, when am I going to become a hairdresser now? But at that point I was planning on quitting because I was like, this isn't worth it for me. I'm not making that much money. In the beginning I was making a decent amount of money because I was doing a lot more assisting. I was getting paid hourly, and then I was also getting 40% of, let's say for example, I applied a color on a client, my boss would get 60% of the money from that client and I would get 40, I believe. I could be wrong, which was great because that was building up over time, especially in the beginning, because I was assisting and I actually was getting told stuff to do. And as the months went on, they stopped telling me stuff. I guess they just expected me to read their minds, so I didn't really know what to do half the time. I would do the routine things and that still wouldn't be enough. And I wasn't getting paid as much because I wasn't doing assisting work as much. The receptionist and my ex-boss were really, really good friends, and they had been friends for a while. And I did catch, like, I don't know if they were talking about me, but I would go out back and they would be talking, and then I'd get back there and then they stopped talking. I'm sure you guys have all experienced that before. It's the most awful feeling in the entire world. So that's happened like more than once. That was like, I hated it. And also I caught I'm not gonna say who, if it was my receptionist or boss, because I don't want to start anything, but I would catch one of them taking pictures of my work while I was doing their hair. For example, I had one client that I did a balayage on. I thought it came out really, really good. My boss said it came out really, really good. And I caught one of them taking pictures of it, and when I looked over, she had put her phone down and hid it. And I feel like if it wasn't a negative thing that she was taking pictures, I feel like if she wasn't like trying to make fun of me or whatever, I feel like she wouldn't have hid her camera, and that she would be like, oh my gosh, it looks so good, let me take a picture, you know? So anyways, that is some of the drama. I was picking up dry cleaning, I was picking up stuff at the grocery store, I was picking up their lunches almost every single day. I was kind of hoping that me and the receptionist would trade off every day, because that was my gas money that I was using, and I didn't seem like that was very fair, especially since half the time they got lunch, I didn't get anything, so I was picking up their lunch and I wasn't even getting lunch. So I didn't feel like that was very fair on my part. So yeah, I was picking up lunches like every single day, whether I had to walk or drive there. I was getting like stuff for the shop every single day. I was going to the beauty supply store to pick up color whenever we were running out. And all this stuff I didn't get reimbursed gas money for. I just did it because I'm that kind of person where I'm just like, don't worry about it, I'll go pick it up for you. Even if I didn't want to, I still had to do it because the other receptionist wouldn't, or I'm not even a receptionist, but the other girl wouldn't do it. So that really, really sucked. And not to mention, there's a salon. Okay, hold on, let me grab a little example. Okay, so here's like a Bose speaker, for example, okay? This is the salon. There's 2 stations right here. It's gonna be reversed for you guys, but this is me looking into the salon. There's 2 stations right here. There's a little seating area right here. There's a little desk right here, or like right here-ish. And then the seating area, there's like products for sale right here. And then right here, right at the very, very back, it leads to the back room. And then also right here is a door. We didn't have ownership of that area. That area led to the basement. So if you go behind that door, there was literally stairs to go right to the basement. And when I first started working there was a microwave in there and then a desk. And there was a desk and a microwave, and then it would have the stairs to the basement, and we could go in there and use the microwave whenever we wanted, but we didn't own that room. That belonged to the restaurant next door. So as the months went on, a homeless guy started living in that room. I'm not even kidding you. Some homeless guy started living in that room, and I don't know the whole story, but I do know there would be times where you just hear like a random cough behind that door, and there'd be times where we had to go in there to grab water from downstairs, like in the basement, and we had to like knock and make sure he wasn't like, I don't even know, like he literally slept there. And we all knew about it, and the guy next door in the restaurant knew about it too, because he was helping him out, which is totally fine. But there was literally a salon, and then behind that door of the salon, there's a homeless guy living there. And it would be dead silent, and you hear just a random manly cough. And just knowing that some homeless guy was living like in the back room, it was like, it was really, really weird and really sketchy. So April 15th, the day before my birthday, I had a 6-month review to kind of talk about everything. And today is the 19th. So last week I had off because my boss was going on vacation, and because I didn't have any clients, because they don't book me clients, I was not going into work. The week before that, the week before last week, a girl came in, and she was a senior in high school, and she said, "Hi, I was wondering if you had an application for an assistant position." And I said, "I don't believe we have that position available," because keep in mind, I was an assistant and the receptionist was kind of an assistant too, so we already had way too many assistants like happening for such a small salon that wasn't super busy most of the time. So I was like, "I don't believe we have that position available, but let me talk to my boss." So when I said that, I was kind of hoping my boss would be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but we don't have that position available. Like, don't come back like in the future once you have a license," or something, you know? But she took her information, like her name, her phone number, and her email. And I was like, why the hell did she just do that? Like, I'm an assistant. I barely have anything to do. The last thing you need is 3 assistants. So I thought maybe I'm either gonna get fired and she's gonna replace me, or either I'm gonna become a hairdresser finally. And I was like, okay, great. Throughout that entire day, I couldn't stop thinking about that whole situation, because I was like, seriously, like, did you really just do that right in front of me? Like, take some other girl's information for the position that I have? You seriously did that right in front of me? Like, I was like, that's super rude. So I was thinking about it all day, and I ended up texting her when I got home, like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you, but like, this has been on my mind all day, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I'm just curious as to why you took that girl's information, because I wanted an explanation. Like, you don't have to tell me because it's not my business, but I'd like to know if I'm gonna get fired or not, or if I'm gonna get bumped up." And her response was, "No need to concern yourself. We will talk at our 6-month review." I'm like, perfect, like, this is great. Like, she said not to concern myself, so that means I'm probably gonna become a hairdresser now. Like, this is great. Maybe I won't have to quit overall. Like, I was super excited. So that week went by that I was off, and then Sunday came along, so that was the 14th. I texted my boss that day at 2 o'clock, and I said, and that day they had a Botox party that I didn't go to because it was optional. I don't know if that's what affected my job or not, because she told me I didn't have to go to that, and if I did, great, and if I didn't, whatever. So if I knew that was gonna affect my job, I would have went, but I didn't go because I wasn't getting Botox, so she was gonna pay me to stand there and do nothing, because it's not, I wouldn't be doing anything. I've been to a Botox party before, and I did some girl's makeup, but I literally stood there most of the time, and she didn't ask me to do makeup at this Botox party, so I literally would have been standing there doing nothing. So I was like, I'm not gonna go. I'll let the girls have their time, drink their mimosas, do whatever, because it's not like I can do any of that. I'm only 19. I can't drink mimosas, and I'm not gonna get Botox because I don't really need it. I feel like it would be a waste of money and time. So I didn't go. I was like, I'll let the girls have their time because they've been talking about it for months, and I just want, you know, them to have their girl time. So I texted her, I said, "Hey, I just want to know like how long, like the estimated time the 6-month review would be tomorrow, because I'm going out to dinner for my birthday, blah 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 blah." And I was like, I know it's kind of hard to like give an estimated time, but like I said, I'm going out to dinner. I want to make sure I have time because it is a birthday, like my birthday dinner. And she never answered me. I checked at 7 o'clock that night. 5 hours later, no response. And I saw on Snapchat that she was with the receptionist, which wasn't unusual to me because they're really good friends anyways, but they were together, and I'm like, there's no way hasn't seen my text message right now. Like, there's no way, like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I saw that Snapchat shortly after I sent that text. I was like, okay, so they're out of the Botox party and they're taking selfies at one of their houses. Okay, so I checked at 10 o'clock, I checked at midnight, I literally checked until I fell asleep, still nothing. And I can't see if she read my text messages or not because she doesn't have that on her phone, so I can't see it. So I don't know if she saw it or whatever. And then that Monday, the 15th, the day of the 6-month review, I woke up with no text. And I know that she gets up early because she told me multiple times at the salon, like when she was working there, that she gets up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and has 5 shots of espresso and blah, 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 blah. So I knew she was up early. And by the time I got up, it was like 9 o'clock. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, why hasn't she answered me yet? So at 11 o'clock, I texted her. I said, just want to make sure you got my text from yesterday, ... And she didn't respond to me until an hour later. And I'm not going to read it word for word because I don't want to get in trouble, but I am going to skim through it and kind of give you the text message as if you were reading it yourself. I'm not going to put it up on the screen or anything because I don't want to get in trouble for that. But she said, hi Bryanna, like, sorry I haven't gotten back to you yesterday. The event was super busy and your message slipped my mind. And I was like, okay, like, what do you mean by that? So, like, the event was super busy. Was I supposed to go? Like, you should have told me if I had to go or not, if that was going to affect my job. But anyways, I was like, okay, that's kind of like a wise comment. And at the time, I was so mad that I kind of read it bad, but now that I'm reading it right now, it sounds like whatever. And then she said, I didn't want to have to text you. I wanted to speak to you today. But there's no need to come in. She said, I feel like we've reached a point where I feel like the fit doesn't work anymore and that she doesn't need 2 assistants. Okay, so if you don't need 2 assistants, why'd you take that other girl's information to become an assistant? And I'm not supposed to be an assistant, I'm supposed to be a hairdresser, but you gotta help me with that. I can't just do that on my own. Because the girl was coming back from maternity leave and there's only 2 stations. My boss and the girl that was pregnant. There's only 2 stations. So where am I going to work? Where am I going to be hairdressing? Like, that didn't comprehend with me. Does that mean I'm only going to be hairdressing on certain days? Or does that mean I'm going to be doing clients at the back table? Like, where there's like fancy seating. Like, that didn't make sense to me. I feel like if she really wanted me as a hairdresser there, she would have maybe put another station there or pushed me a little bit more, which she never did. So it didn't make sense to me. She was basically saying, I feel like you're a confident stylist. I think you do great in the future. Thanks for working for me for a few months and best of luck in the future. And my response was, oh, okay. So the day before my birthday, she fired me, and I also had a lot of stuff going on in my house that I'm not going to talk about, but I had a lot of issues going on at home, and the last thing I needed was to lose my job, and she still fired me, and she literally knew everything that was going on in my life to the T. I told her everything because I would like vent and rant to her all the time about everything that was going on at home, and I would get her feedback and all of this stuff. And she knew everything. Like, she knew I was going through a really, really hard time, and the last thing I needed was to lose my job and not be making money. Yet she fired me. And she also, well, she didn't really fire me because I didn't do anything wrong. But she let me go, and she also did it over text instead of having me still go in that day or scheduling it for another time for me to go in. I was gonna quit anyways. I wanted to be the one to quit and not the one to lose their job, because I've never once lost a job. I've either always quit or I was only a seasonal employer, so they didn't need me like all the time. So I never got let go by a job. I always quit. And it just like, it really sucked, and I cried because I was angry. I'm the type of person where I cry either from angry, sad, happy, like I'm just a crier, and I cried because I was so angry that she just let me go at the hardest time in my life right now. Like, I feel like if you had a heart and if you had consideration for other people, she would have fired me before the vacation, so I could have been looking for a job during my time off, rather than literally firing me like a day before I was planning on going to work. I feel like she should have given me a little bit more of an advantage. Like, it doesn't, like, I can't comprehend why she told me not to concern myself, yet she let me go. I still don't understand why she didn't let me go before, like, while I was on vacation or that last day. like that last Friday I was working there, why she didn't say like, hey, we need to talk, brought me out back and said, I don't need you anymore. Why didn't she do that then? Like, it doesn't, like, why did she wait till after her vacation to let me go and give me such a last minute notice? I feel like if she did it while I was on vacation, I would have had a little bit more time to find a job, where this was so last minute, where I was expecting to go in on Wednesday and then ended up not having to go in. But I'm just really disappointed because I thought that I would become successful there. That was her goal, that was her plan, that was my plan, that was my goal, and I feel like she let me down. And now I'm over it because I know that it was a very toxic area. I didn't, like, every single day I woke up not wanting to go to work. Like, I just hated it there. I wanted to go home so bad. And I'm not just saying that because I got let go. I've literally been talking about quitting since maybe January, and it's now April. I've been talking about quitting for a very long time. Ever since I kind of put the pieces together that she was never going to push me to become a stylist, I was like, I'm definitely like going to quit. Like, this is not what I want. I don't want to be an assistant. In the beginning I loved it because I had that break from hairdressing, and then I got to the point where I had absolutely nothing to do and I do everything she'd tell me. And I'm a very fast worker, so when I do something, I do it at a very fast pace, and then I end up having nothing to do later on. And she used to always tell me, space it out, do this at this time, do this at this time, like, don't do it all at once. I wish it didn't end the way that it did, but I'm also happy it ended the way that it did, because now I get to move on with my life and I don't have to worry about the stress of quitting. Because there were so many times where I woke up in the morning and I just wanted to text her saying, hey, I quit, I'm not coming in today. But I actually had respect for her and for her business that I didn't do that, because I knew that she was gonna need help that day. So I actually had consideration for her and her business and still went in that day and didn't quit, even though I wanted to so bad. But so that's gonna complete this video for today. I'm sure there's a lot more I could say, but it's not even worth my time right now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more beauty videos. I don't usually film videos like this, but you guys are my family and I feel like I need to update you guys on what's kind of going on in my life right now. So right now I don't have a job, but I'm really happy to be out of there. At first I was angry because I wanted to be the one to be like, I'm done, but I'm so happy to be out of there. Like, you have no idea. Worst thing ever is doing someone's hair and feeling like you're getting judged for it, and I felt that vibe all the time when I was doing someone's hair. I always felt someone was judging me for whatever I was doing. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of rant about this and let you guys know what's going on in my life. I know I said that like a million times, and I know I keep continuing the story. It's just like things keep popping up in my head as I'm talking. But anyways, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more beauty videos. I don't normally film videos like this, but if you want to see more, give this video a big thumbs up. I love telling stories. It's really weird, but I love telling stories about like everything in my life. Like, when something happens to me, I tell everybody because I just love telling stories. But so yeah, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more beauty videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more story times. I will definitely do them. And so yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.